Okay, how are you all doing? Welcome to my live stream. Give me a few minutes just to get into it and settle down. I hope all of you have had a good day. I do appreciate all the support. I really do appreciate it throughout all the years. And today I'll be teaching you my daily routine for building confidence, discipline, gratitude, and so many other things. And there's a whole story behind it. I've made some notes as well because there's a lot of stuff that I want to get through. I want to answer your questions, and I want to help as many of you as I can to move forward with your anxieties and start doing the things that you want to do, being the person that you've always wanted to be, and living your dream life. So the routine is the foundation that changed my life and helped me to overcome from a mental health breakdown in 2017. Those of you that don't know, yep, I had a mental health breakdown in 2017, a couple of years prior to being very successful, you could say externally successful, well, and some internal as well. I had a great life. I built a successful business. I had a girlfriend. I was financially free. We lived together. I was coaching people, as some of you know. I was traveling. I was doing talks. Life was going great, but then life happens, and then I got hit with the mental health breakdown, and then everything changed from that point. I made a lot of changes myself, a lot of things that I just wasn't being the best person that I could be. I was young at the time. Obviously, you learn in life. I was a bit immature. Some people would probably disagree. My family probably disagree, but I think I was a little bit arrogant from all the success. Things went to my head. I was always a good person, but so not saying that I deserved to have a mental health breakdown, but it's changed my life, and I wouldn't change it despite it being challenging at that time. Looking back now, I'm very thankful for it. So a lot of my talks and teachings of recent have come from the experience of the mental health breakdown in 2017, and so many good things have come. I know a lot of people, as soon as you say mental health breakdown, everybody goes, oh my God, this guy. But for me, my whole relationship with that experience is very positive. It's like, thank God that happened to me, because I wouldn't be the person I am now. I wouldn't be on the path that I'm on. I wouldn't have, you know, what's the right word? Well, I wouldn't have rediscovered my faith again, which I didn't realize how important that was to me at that time, and I wouldn't have traveled and done a lot of things. And it's not about me, solely about me. I wouldn't be able to help people in the way that I'm helping them. My teaching wouldn't have changed. Thank God it did. My whole life has changed, and it's been continuing. So it isn't over yet, but that's kind of the genesis of today's talk, the routine, what I've learned, what I'm still learning, how it's changed my life, how it's helping my clients. And I've said that I'm not going to, I hope people don't think that I'm saying, oh, I didn't invent all this. This routine came from, yes, basically it came from some of my, own experiences, but it come from a collection of experiences of good people, family, faith, mentors, trial and error, etc. Hopefully this chat's working. Please let me know in the chat box. I'm praying it works. Sometimes it doesn't work, but we'll figure it out because I want to get to the questions. I've got my phone. I've got everything that I need next to me. Everything's charged. Just try and get this right. There we go. Because the last time batteries ran out, and I've got my tea as well. So I'll take my time. Officially, I'm starting at 8. So yeah, I need a few minutes just to get out of my head. It's been a great day today. I did 2 workouts. I've got to remember to breathe. Let me give you a lot of tip, right? I used to think this stuff sounded really simple, and I used to just think, it's not going to work. It's so important to breathe. Let me do it now, especially from the diaphragm. Because what I do sometimes, what a lot of people do, we don't realize because of background anxiety, you're constantly holding your breath, and it's like you're choking. It's from all the trauma and all the bad habits and the stress. And I started to realize that through a lot of running and getting fit. And I'm learning a lot lately from good people in the kind of anxiety, mental health, confidence space online. Some really good teachers, men and women. And I love people that are honest. I like it when they're honest about their own struggles, and I know I can trust them. And they're also helping people. So I've been learning about breathing, many things. And that's all kind of coincides with the daily routine, which I want to teach there and explain to people. And I'm hoping everyone will create their own routine, because I don't think you're going to be able to copy mine exactly, because obviously we've got different lives, different careers, but the principles are the same. Right, let's see. Could one of you let me know in the chat box if this works? I'll say hello, because then I never feel fully relaxed until I know that the chat's working, because sometimes people put questions and it don't come up. So if you could just comment in the chat. So I'm trying to get to my notes here. I'm charging my phone. You know what? Let's do that for a sec. Right. Okay. It'd be great if one of you could comment in the chat if you don't mind. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's such a relief now. Okay, 4 more minutes, because I'm just getting myself relaxed. My adrenaline's still going. I'm excited because I've been training the whole day, and I'm a bit pent up, and I've had 2 coffees. I'm sure a lot of you understand. It's actually a good thing. So it's almost the opposite to what we term as negative anxiety when you're nervous or you're awkward. I don't feel that way. It's more, I'm really pumped up because I've just been training, and my body's still, it's like it's still on the wheel of training, and I've got to adjust to sitting down and relaxing. And it's like I'm still running and training. And that's not a bad thing. My dad was right when he said, years ago, he said to me, one of the best feelings in the world is being fit. Because my dad was very fit growing up. He trained, and I remember getting fit when I was doing boxing in the amateurs, and my dad was complimenting me saying, "Oh, you're really fit. You can't keep still," in a positive way, meaning that that's what happens when you get really fit. You're so happy and excited and energetic that there's times it's very difficult to settle down, and that's another skill that I'm learning. So it's kind of the opposite of an anxiety. It's more excitement, I'd say, and adrenaline. Get your questions in. I can get through the questions throughout the talk, so don't worry. None of you got to be nervous about interrupting, because I can always answer it or just say, hang on a minute. But put your questions in, I'll read them. Yeah, sometimes the coffee does that. I like coffee, but I'm noticing lately, before I could have 2 or 3. I think one is enough a day now. When I have more than one, I'm too excited. Right. Okay, I've made notes here for this talk. I've got so many great notes here. Note to self: always make notes. Okay. So I'll go through the vision, right? Because I've had a new vision since 2017. It's crazy to think. I hope I'm not rambling, guys. Maybe I am. But in 2017, when I was in a mental hospital, and I was just sitting there thinking, I don't understand how I've got here. How has my life come to this from being so good? A couple of days in, I accepted more where I was, and I did some praying. I got the Bible. That gave me a lot of strength. Started getting the help. I kind of accepted the fact that I don't want to be here, but I have to be here. And whilst I'm here, it's home. Let me figure out how I can get out of this place in one piece. So when I settled down after about a week, I found a lot of peace and confidence, and I was no longer sort of feeling that threat in there. I created a vision, and that vision, the vision was basically to be where I am now. And the vision was basically a goal that I set. I said, I want to come back, because I had 2 choices. You know, when you have a mental health breakdown, or even if you have like a romantic breakdown or any sort of crisis in life where you've hit rock bottom, like whatever you've had, you've lost it. When you're in that situation, I mean, at least for me, you've always got 2 choices: two difficult choices. The first choice is just to give up and stay where you are. Or the second choice is to want to recover and come back. And I made a choice number two. I wanted to come back. So my goal initially was I need to start training and losing weight, getting in shape. And the relationship that I thought in my head was, it wasn't like I need to get a six pack or I need to get muscles or I need to lose weight. It was like, I want to feel good again. I want to get back to the amateur boxing. I didn't want to fight anymore, but I wanted to do the training and I wanted to get back into that lifestyle that I once loved and lived that got me success to begin with. And then in the midst of that, it was like, the reason why I want to do that is because I want to help other people. I want to come back and tell my story so I can help other people to save and change their lives who are suffering with an anxiety disorder or low confidence or trauma or anything that I've gone through or anything that I could help them with. I knew I could do that, but I had to come back myself. So the objective and goal number one has been achieved. Thank God. It's been amazing. I'm 40 pounds lighter. I'm off medication and I'm not in a mental hospital anymore, and I'm working again. I'm paying taxes and I'm coaching, and I've also changed my whole business and my whole life, and I'm in a new apartment, which I'm grateful for, thank God. So now the second part of that goal, I've not fully achieved it, but I'm in the midst of it over the sort of coming year or so, is to share my story and help more people. I've been sharing it with clients when they ask me and they need it and they've appreciated it. I've been doing it on YouTube, on Instagram, not just through verbally, but those little boxing clips that you see me do, that's part of me sharing this story. I'm basically saying to people, this is what I did to recover, and this is what you can do, So that gives you some idea of the vision. So doing a lot of so-ams today. Still not fully relaxed. This coffee's got away down my adrenaline. Getting there. Okay, so I want to tell people who have got an anxiety disorder or social anxiety, in all that area, that they can still live their dreams if they're committed to working hard and being courageous on a day-to-day basis. I am doing it, my clients are doing it, and so can you. My further vision is to share my story with how I overcame the mental health breakdown in 2017. I want to share my testimony to inspire other people to overcome their challenges, or at least to shed light on the subject of anxiety, mental health, confidence, and living a blessed life. I want to share my daily routine that helped me to recover from a mental health breakdown and being overweight and on medication. Continuation. My vision is to help people who have an anxiety disorder, to take action on their fears and anxieties so they can build confidence, discipline, and gratitude, which are all the ingredients and characteristics you need to live a great life. I want to make my confidence coaching simple and easy for people to understand and to apply in their life. So I'm coming into my own now. It's better for relaxed. Confidence coaching is about setting goals and holding yourself accountable to achieve those goals. Confidence coaching is about becoming a better person, living from good values. An example is improving your relationships with people and yourself, eating healthily and exercising consistently, following your heart and living your dreams and being a better person, helping other people. You gain confidence and you get control over your anxiety by doing the things that make you happy and fulfilled. You also gain confidence and get control over your anxiety by doing the things that make you fearful and anxious. You have to get used to being uncomfortable in periods if you want to succeed at this. And then I've gone on to explain my daily routine. So here's my daily routine. I do alternate from this. So it's not like every single day I do exactly what I'm going to read out now, but I pretty much do it in different orders depending on the day. So number one, without fail, the first thing I do in the morning is I practice gratitude. I'm a Christian by faith. I believe in Jesus, but whatever your faith is, I respect that, or whatever you believe in, what keeps you going, or motivation. I say a prayer, sometimes a short and a long, and then I listen to some motivation. And Les Brown, David Goggins, and I love the Rocky movies. I like, the 80s films. I love music. So I get grateful in the morning before anything. Then secondly, I will go and do a 45 to 60-minute exercise workout, which will alternate from a boxing training workout, and you see me doing that on YouTube and Instagram, hitting the bag. So I'll either just do that, which is enough, or I'll go for the run in the park in London, or I'll do a weight training routine or swimming. On some days I do all of them. So does that make sense? But I'll do one at the very least. So some days I'll go and do. Today I done 3 lots. I went gym, I done boxing, I did a bit of weights, come home, showered, and I did a 45-minute run. But I don't do that every day because I don't want to burn out. But I exercise about 5 times a week. So after I've done that, excuse me, I come home and then I've usually go and coach a client. I work with my clients who are doing 1-year program or 6 weeks. I'll coach a client. On days where I don't have a client, I will work on my business, YouTube, Instagram, giving value, creating new opportunities to go on podcast shows, answering questions, writing things down, ideas, etc. Then I think is it number 6, I will go and socialize with my family or friends. Again, I'll pick one, what feels right on the day, sometimes both. I'll see a friend in my family friend. And then number 7, when need be, I'll do some traveling, whether it's over to another country to see a friend, or I'll travel in London, and I'll also embark on some entertainment. I like going to the cinema on my own when there's a good film out. I saw the last Denzel Washington film, which I thought was brilliant. I like his Equalizer films, or I'll, watch a podcast show. So basically, within all those things, the principle I'm teaching is exercising every day, socializing, eating healthy, living your purpose, being a better person. So all those things are there. So your routine might be slightly different, but I'm basically saying create a routine where you're exercising, you're socializing. Obviously, if you've got a job, great, you're going to go work, do the best you can. Or if you're running your business. So this routine is class, is 10 out of 10 because it embodies all of the habits and characteristics and lifestyles to live a great life. So that's what I call living my dreams every day. Because the truth is, most people with a severe anxiety disorder won't be doing most of these things because I understand it. I was the same because they're too scared, they're too anxious. So my vision is to help more people to break out of anxiety and to get into a regimen of living each day in confidence, in faith, in gratitude, and growing. And I'm telling you, if you stick at this, it affects every aspect of your life in a positive way. It makes you a better person. Your whole relationships improve. Now, is it easy? No, it's not easy. It's challenging. But life's hard anyway. What isn't challenging? But what you get out of it makes it worth it. So I love it. My clients love it. And I'm confident that this is going to take off. And I want to get on more podcast shows so I can share this more and educate people and get people doing it. I don't want people just going on my platform and watching me and hitting like. I appreciate it. I want people to watch my stuff and go and do this in their life so they can be happy, because you're not going to be happy. You're not going to have great mental health if you've got an anxiety disorder. If you just sit at home watching others, it's a good start, but it shouldn't end there. So it's nice if people watch my stuff. It's great to be appreciated and treated well. But it's my job's done if you watch my stuff and you go and do it, and then we're all doing it. It's brilliant. So that's the main gist of what I wanted to get across today. Any questions, please ask me. I love talking about this. I could talk about this all day. I've also gone on to write that I want to explain to people that the characteristics of the character that you need to develop in order to conquer your anxiety and live your dreams is a strong character. And all these habits with the training and the exercise and the discipline, they build that character, they build that stamina, and they give you good mental health, and they help you in every area. They will help you to improve everything: finances, relationships, mental health, purpose, just daily living. Even if you just said, look, I'm not interested in building a successful business or making money, or I just want to be happy every day or live each day in gratitude. That's what it will do. It is brilliant. This routine is for anyone who wants it. Obviously, I don't force it on people that don't want it, but it can help anyone of any age. Doesn't matter what age you are. Doesn't matter if you're married or you're not married or you're single. It can help everybody. This is common sense, really. But obviously, the challenge is most people know all this stuff, but they have trouble applying it because of anxiety and self-doubt. Negative patterns get people stuck overthinking, and people don't always have the support they need, and they don't always have the strength, which is why you need good people to help you and give you that strength until you can give it to yourself. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't have good people that helped me and gave me strength when I didn't have enough strength to help myself. Now, for those of you that would like to see if it would help you, if you go on my, let me put it in there, my Instagram page, daily I upload clips of me training. There's not really a day that don't go by. You won't see me running, boxing, to motivate and inspire people. And I'm also sharing my journey because I love it, really enjoy it. I'm just going to share and put the link in. For people that feel quite overwhelmed, you could just start off with one thing. I'm not saying that straight away. You can just start off with gratitude each day until you get a bit more confident with that, and then progress on to the running, and you build it. It's taken me 6 years to develop the discipline to do this, but it wouldn't take. Well, I'm hoping that it wouldn't take everybody else 6 years, because I'm giving you information right now, and I've organized it for you and explained it. I'm just going to get my Instagram page up, put the link in, so you can follow me there if you want to get more help. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't like the word discipline. I didn't like it when I was younger. Now I love it. They get intimidated by the word. My fear is too strong to even talk to anyone. Yeah, I understand that. I'm just trying to think of. It's quite hard for me right now to give you something to solve that problem right now. All I can really do is tell you my story. What I would say to you is, speak to someone, anyone in your life that you trust. I don't know your situation. I don't know your relationships, but I would speak to your parents. You've got to speak to someone and tell them. Just be honest. I know it's not easy, but do it. You'll feel better. Tell your parents. Tell someone you trust who loves you that you can't talk to people because you're too fearful. That social anxiety, I had that and I overcame that, and so can you. And it starts off with telling someone that will relieve you, and then you can build from there, one step at a time. I think that's the thing that a lot of people do with anxiety is they think too far ahead, and then they get more overwhelmed, and then they can't do it. One step at a time. I'm going to make a point of saying that. I know it's hard, but you must not compare yourself to me or anyone. You can focus on where you're at and moving forward, and you get there in the end. I don't know how long you've been following me, but I've got many videos on the channel. I've helped many people with your problem with social anxiety disorder or agoraphobia, and I've gotten some great results if they're committed. So you definitely can do it, 100%. I don't know how long you've been following me, so I don't know what you know about my story, about what you can do, about clients I've helped. Put them in the box. You can ask me more questions while you're here. I'm happy to answer them. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here for at least an hour or so. Let's see. Just trying to get to my Instagram. Internet slow. Here we go. I got it. Okay. So if I can put this in the link. So there's my Instagram. Dan Diunla. Please call me Jonathan, by the way, if you don't mind. That's my full name. I know I used to use the name Johnny years ago, but I prefer it. But if you can call me that. Yeah. I thought about that. I'll see. I'm good friends with Jeff Thompson. He was a mentor. He helped me a lot. It's funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking about that. I'll see how I feel about that. You know, when you've known someone a long time and they've mentored you, and I've got a good relationship with Jeff, so I'll see about that. It's not a bad idea though. At the moment, to be honest, I want to go on more people's shows. I want to be interviewed to share my story. And there was a time I was doing interviews, and I might go back to it. But at the moment, my vision and my purpose is to follow my heart and go on more shows. So if any of you can help me to do that, I'd be grateful. I'll go on, I don't care how many followers someone's got as long as they're a good person. Obviously, no one's perfect, but they're good, they're honest, and they're helping people. I will, I'll go on their show and share my story. Yeah. I watch all of Jeff's stuff. Jeff's brilliant. He's a really kind man. True. I'm glad that you're watching his stuff. I've seen it. Yeah, I watch all of his interviews as well. He's doing great. Yeah, for any of you out there, anybody that's anybody that has been through any kind of abuse and is struggling with forgiveness because of their past and fear and anxiety and feel like they can't talk to him, I highly recommend you checking out Jeff Thompson. It's probably the best in the world if you know Jeff's story with overcoming the abuse that he underwent, and now he turned his life around and helped many people, including me. It's got to be one of the best out there, the most honest people. His stuff's brilliant. He's got loads of stuff online free. He's got a lot of books that he's written on fear, on forgiveness, on love. He does I don't know if Jeff still does one-on-one mentoring, but I know that Jeff does these walks that you can they're paid. It's a paid program you can go and do with Jeff. I've done it. It's brilliant, where you go for a walk in an evening, I think in Coventry, with a group of people, and he helps you, he motivates you, takes you for tea, tells his story. Really great stuff. So yeah, I'm glad that you brought Jeff. Anybody got any questions? I'll just keep talking and teaching, and anytime, please, guys, get your questions in, and you can have a conversation with me. I try to make everybody comfortable. I'm really easygoing. Right, so where are we? I've made a lot of notes here. Great little tip, right? A lot of my clients do this, and a lot of therapists recommend it. And I never used to do it. I do it. I make a lot of notes. Anytime I get a good idea now, I sit down, I write it down, because you never know, where it's going to go. A business idea or therapy or coaching or anything you need to get out to, whatever it may be, write it down. Because we get, it's true what I heard someone saying on the podcast, that we get so many good ideas, but if we don't write them down, we lose these ideas. We forget. So I got so much great stuff here. What do you think about Fury Ngannou fight? I think it's exciting. Yeah, I think it's exciting. I like it. I like it. I think it's great. It's obviously it's entertainment, it's business, but I think Fury's earned the right. And I don't know much about Ngannou, but I'm sure he has as well. They've earned the right to make a lot of money, and I think it's great. I'm excited for it. Yeah, it's definitely for the money, but they're honest about that, and that's fine. I think Tyson Fury and Ngannou have paid their dues. They've helped a lot of people, including me. Tyson Fury has changed my life, and they're honest about it. So I don't have a problem with it. Obviously, I prefer real official fights, but this is intriguing, and I'm confident Fury should definitely win. But you're always a little bit worried, because Ngannou's obviously got a lot of power. So I'm intrigued. I will watch it. Yeah. How do I deal with the feeling of anxiety in the moment when dealing with others? I think the word is acceptance. Is acceptance in the sense that you've just got to accept that that anxiety is there. And I'm glad that you asked me that. I can share a piece of my story to illustrate and help you. I went through a stage in my life, I remember it was a tough time where I constantly had anxiety around people, everybody, everybody. I had high levels of social anxiety. I never felt comfortable at all in my own body, especially prior to the mental health breakdown. But, and funny enough, I learned a lot of this from the time working with Jeff and my own experience as a teacher and a person. I just went, okay, let's accept it. This is going to lead to something great. And it did eventually, because I accepted it and I just kept moving forward, it eventually went away. So that's what I would encourage you to do. I'm pretty confident that would work for you. I'm sure there might be more things you got to do. You might need therapy, you might need some coaching, probably do. That's going to be your choice. But you've got to find gratitude. You've got to find something stronger. And I think I understand your question, but the question kind of is an anxiety question. You know, it's almost, I guess what you're saying, I've been there. It's, I can't accept that I feel anxiety around people. I want it to go away. But for as long as you have that attitude, it's going to take long. Whereas if you just go, you don't particularly like it, want it to go, but stay there and accept it. Let's go, let's do it. It will go away. That's a great little technique. The more you say to an anxiety, go away, I don't want you, please go away, it just gets stronger. The more you say, look, I don't like it. All right, come on in, come in. Stay then. Stick around. I'm going to continue living my life being a good person. It starts going away. It's a bit like dealing with a bully. If you say to a bully, please don't hurt me, please don't take my, and I don't advocate bullying, I got bullied growing up too. If you stand up to a bully, what happens? They eventually go away. They get scared. So I hope that helped you answer your question. But I'd also say this is going to be a long-term solution. It ain't going to be a quick fix with what you're going through, but a lot of people are going through what you're going through. So just know that you're not on your own. Don't be ashamed. Don't judge yourself. I've been through it, and that's a big part of my story. Tell other people, and I deal with anxiety too on a daily basis, but I don't let it get the better of me. I keep moving forward, and the daily routine that I've given. I know that you said you're not ready to do all that now, but if you could just look at it and start off with something, gratitude every day, you'll start improving the anxiety. It will start going away. There are other things as well that you can do to. I'm just sharing this on Facebook, guys. Just give me a second there. Okay, I'm live stream. You. Just sharing it on LinkedIn. I'll get to the questions. Just a sec. I need to get a sofa. This chair it's not that comfortable. Hold on a second. Oh, this tea is lovely. Okay, let's get to these questions. Well, when it comes to, you've asked me the question, what's my opinion on flirting with a girl, or is it something that can be done spontaneously? My opinion is really best not to try and do that, because that just usually falls into trying too hard, being unnatural. And I think sometimes a lot of the terminology, the way that men put this pressure on themselves, ruins relationships. So I'm not a big fan of that word flirting. Personally, I think it can go into ego and not a great place. I'm more about being kind, being confident, being yourself, and letting your sense of humor come through. So flirting is something that it cannot be forced because it won't come across right. It will be weird. It will be unnatural. It's not what I'm about. You guys and girls know that. But if it comes naturally, where you naturally, a man and a woman have an affection for each other and they naturally start flirting, then that's beautiful because it's natural. But trying to force the matter ain't going to work out. But yeah, you might not like my advice, you might not understand it, but that's what I believe to be true, especially in this moment. Something that I had to unlearn because a lot of the pressure out there. So it's about being confident in who you are, because a lot of men think that if they don't flirt, then the woman's not going to love them. She's not going to find them attractive. That's not true. But a lot of men believe that, and then they overcompensate, and then they come across weird or creepy or strange, or it don't work out. So whenever guys ask me this question, I know that they're not in the right mindset, and I mean that kindly, and I know that they're practicing behaviors which are not natural. And the real root of the problem is confidence and self-esteem in oneself. You need to work on that, and social skills and relaxing. So let's say, for example, on this stream, if I try to make all of you laugh, you probably are not going to laugh. You won't find it funny, and you probably sense that it's a bit awkward, it's a bit weird. But if I just naturally be myself, which I am being, as you can see, my mood now is what it is. It's kind of what it is. But I have a good sense of humor, and so do all of you. So does everyone. And if that comes through naturally, I'm going to let it come through. So but I understand what you're saying, because there's a lot of books out there, and there's a lot of terminology that says you have to flirt, because if you don't flirt, you're this, you're that. But I know that's not true. I've got experience, and I've learned a lot from relationships, from women, from men, from my own mistakes, and learning sometimes from not so good teachers that teach stuff which is it's not kind, it's not honest, it's not good, it's not natural. Yeah, yeah. Now, I'm not saying to be stiff and boring and intense. No, not at all. But it's got to come natural. It's something that has to come, and there needs to be respect with it. A lot of men don't realize that they flirt, and then they're not respectful towards women, and they come across wrong, and it don't work. So for me, it's having that respect for yourself and for women, and if you come from a good place, you can pretty much joke with most people. But if it's that discipline again. And I almost don't want to over explain something that is natural and not overcomplicate it. So I would say to any guy stuck with this, you've really got to work on your confidence with yourself. Nothing to do with women, it's about you. And learn to respect women, love them, love yourself, and be able to be yourself, feel good in yourself, and then naturally, it's like any relationship. It's like saying, well, I'm going to go and see my mum and dad today, but before I go see them, how do I make them laugh? How do I it's not natural with that sort of programming. It's like, let me just go see my mum and dad and love them and spend time and be myself. And there's humor in the family anyway. It might not be the right time for the humor, but at some point it will be. Does that make sense? But many will disagree with me. Totally fine. But this is what I live by. These are values that I teach and learn. But I understand, though, it's not always easy. It's not easy, or it's not. These things are complicated, relationships and talking. It's not always easy for men and women. because one person says do that, another one says do that, one says that's right, one says that's wrong. But I think it's simple. If we get down to simple truths, if you're honest and you're coming from a good place and there's respect there and love there, it works out. But of course, it takes confidence to be like that, and you've got to be vulnerable. And there's a risk. There's always a risk of being hurt and rejected. But I'd rather be hurt and rejected, having respect for them, being myself, respecting myself, enjoying my life, and communicating with them from a good place. So be it. And eventually, those ethics anyway will always get you a good relationship. But it is a confidence issue. I'm going to keep saying. I'm not just talking to you, Dandy. I'm talking in general. And and I've heard many women over the years, friends or previous relationships, say that they've been on dates with guys, and some guys have been a bit weird or a bit too intense or trying too hard or too serious, and then they'll say another guy was great, and they're really explaining the concept of being natural, being comfortable, and being normal and social and kind. So the kindness, if you can be kind to women and yourself, flirting and humor and all that, being romantic will come through in the right way. Right, let's move forward. Right, just going through my notes here. This is just another goal that I want to do. I do it for my clients, but for more people. People with anxiety put limits on what they can achieve. This is part of the anxiety. And I want to help more people to overcome this problem. It's anxiety which creates self-doubt, which, if not challenged, will make you believe you can't do something new, learn new things, move forward. So I just gave an example here, a bit of humor in it. So a career fireman can become a successful runner if he wants to, if he changes his perception of his identity. But if he believes that he's a fireman and that's all he is, and he can't do other things because he believes his anxiety, then and the fireman's a great job. But I'm making a point of saying, don't make it an identity, because for as long as you do, you're going to be stuck. And I've been through a lot of this myself on my journey. There were many things that I used to allow my mind to tell me that I couldn't do. No one else told me I couldn't do it, or maybe they did. But when I challenged it, I went out and did it and proved that I could do it. I could change my career. I could learn new skills. I could change my job. I could lose weight. I could, I remember when I was always, I was paid for a professional cameraman, which was great. But there was a point where I thought, I want to start filming myself. But my mind said to me, well, you can't do that. I said, why not? Well, because you're a coach, you're a speaker, you're a teacher. You're not a technological guy. You're not skilled at that. So I said, right, we're going to challenge that. And during the lockdown, I studied for 2 years filmography, lighting, and I got very good at doing it myself. If you see, well, a lot of you saw my YouTube videos, I did them, all the recent high quality ones. I know the quality isn't great here because I'm using the laptop and it's the quality of the camera on the laptop. But my videos, I learned myself. I learned lighting, shooting. I did an amazing job. But I studied because I didn't believe the anxiety which says you can do that, but you can't do that. So that's really, really important. And you could apply that to anything. I'm going to start reading a lot of quotes that I've done until more questions arise. So knowledge, if not applied, that is useless. So a lot of people with anxiety disorders who want to better their life, they read all these books, but they don't get anywhere. They don't make changes in their life. They stay stuck because they're not doing the most important thing, which is taking action, which is actually being a practitioner. Too many theorists. And what theory does, too much theory, it makes anxiety worse, because anxiety already got its own theory. It's highly intelligent, limited. At times, I'd even say unkind and potentially evil if not addressed. So reading more books and getting more knowledge on top of what your mind's already telling you is overload, overdrive. Whereas instead of saying, I get questions all the time, Jonathan, what do you recommend for getting over social anxiety? What books should I read? And I say, don't read any books. Go run up hills, because running up a hill will teach you more than a book will teach you, because it will give you discipline. It will give you the things that you're lacking right now. But if you just sit and read a book, you know, personally for me, and some might disagree, which is fine. But if it's not for me, if it's not the Bible or a book on faith, then it's not going to change you if you're just reading a self-help book, which can be great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that self-help books or motivation or positivity, I've got some books over here, but it's not enough on its own, especially for people that have got high levels of social anxiety, depression, anxiety disorders, trauma. They need action. They need practical action and need, ongoing therapy in that way. So exercising is better than reading books. It'll give you more confidence, and it will get that sharp, because just reading books alone for an anxiety disorder is not going to get rid of your anxiety. I've been coaching for 12 years. I've coached hundreds of clients worldwide from all different backgrounds, from millionaires to doctors to lawyers to bankers to filmmakers, actors, 9-to-5ers, business people, all walks of life. And every single person I work with got better results from taking a practical approach, which is exposure therapy, as opposed to reading books, because all of them had read books. So be very careful of not falling into that trap of rationalizing that you're working on your anxiety by reading books when really you're not. Procrastination, avoidance, defense mechanisms, intellectualization, and that's not going to give you confidence and help you move forward. And I learned that on my journey when I started, because I fell into that trap, because it's what society says and what everybody seems to gravitate towards. But when I read the books, it didn't do anything. But of course, if you do what my committed client Phil's doing, or I do now, if you take a lot of action and you go out and you socialize and you exercise and you read books as well, then you've got the best of both worlds. Brilliant. But most people don't do that at this point. They're doing 95% theory and probably 5% action, and that's not enough. It's not going to change you. It's not enough. Anyone with any experience and truth, with any real expertise, is going to tell you what I'm telling you. And if they're not telling you what I'm telling you, then I'm sorry, they're not qualified in this area, or they don't know, or they're not being honest, or they just don't have the experience that I've got. A book can only take you so far. You have to go out and face your own emotions, and that's the problem. Let me show you something. I've got some books here, and I enjoyed reading these on the plane, because they're really good people. So a friend bought me this on my birthday. I appreciated it. Everyday Confidence, and it's a bit of a mess now. But basically, as good as the stuff is in this book, most of which I teach, we share similar teachings, and I found. But sitting and reading this book is comfortable. This doesn't give me any anxiety. It doesn't give me fight or flight. It doesn't challenge me in the way that going and doing a public talk would, or do live stream would, or coaching, or doing a sales call, or, going on a date, or running up a hill, or training, or going for a marathon run. It doesn't challenge you in that way. It's different. It's too comfortable. And that's the problem today with people. They're too comfortable. And the more comfortable you are, the worse the anxiety gets. How can I avoid people pleasing? I do it unconsciously. By building more confidence and discipline in yourself, and healing up more, all those ways. Basically, all the things I'm saying on this stream already, they encompass all these problems, like people pleasing, all these sort of characteristics and, relationship things will improve through discipline and training. So people that people please lack discipline, they lack confidence. Understandably, I used to be a people pleaser too. They are, another thing that they're doing is they're not confronting the fear which came from their childhood trauma, where someone frightened them, made them feel not good enough. I understand. I've been through it. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can do it. So, again, you've got to work at it. But again, it's also coming from a kind of people feel, I understand it. They feel in order to stop people pleasing, they've got to be aggressive towards people. And that's not the way to do it. That ain't going to help. You're just going to upset people. You're going to be nasty to people. I'm not saying you're going to do that, but I'm talking the root of the problem. I work with people every week. I help clients with this. So it's doing it from a good place, you know. So, yeah, that's a longer conversation, but I've kind of told you all the things today. I don't expect everybody to get everything I'm saying in one live stream, but if you can take something from it and practice it today, you'll see the difference. Yes, I will, but not in the way you're thinking. It won't be with the dating stuff because I've changed my teaching. But yeah, I've got my client Phil has done a testimonial. He's been doing my 1 year program. So I will be showing clients giving reviews, but it wouldn't be in the way of the old videos. It will be different. But yeah, that's a great idea. Right, on to the next one. Okay, I'm going to read this out. I make a lot of notes. They're all on par with what I'm saying. No, I'm not teaching that anymore. Change the teaching. Won't be doing any more of that. But I appreciate what you're saying. So, facing your anxiety and going after your dreams. As someone who has had an anxiety disorder and someone who's achieved their goals and dreams, I know what it takes to successfully do this, or for anyone. You've got to be extremely brave. That is the common denominator of above all these things. Whatever method you're using, or therapy, or if it's confidence coach like me, or therapy, or talking, you need to be brave. You're not going to overcome an anxiety disorder without courage. It's impossible, really. So you need to be extremely brave. You have to, you know, you have to be willing to experience at times, I'm sorry to say, terrifying, uncomfortable emotions. That's a reality. You've got to go through a lot of pain. You've got to go through a lot of highs and lows in life and emotionally. You have to keep getting back up when people let you down and life knocks you down and your anxiety knocks you down, because it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's called life. You have to work extremely hard and smart. You've got to stop being afraid to lose people. And you've got to develop healthy boundaries in relationships. And we touched on that earlier on with people pleasing. You've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to make changes in yourself. And you've got to take, intelligent risk every single day and face the uncertainties of life. We all have, providing that you want to live a better life and be a better person. I'm going to just we'll have a short break, guys, right? I'm going to make another tea because we're getting close to the hour mark. A few minutes, I'll make a tea. If people want to leave the stream, they're welcome to, if they've got enough. If you want to stay on it, I'm going to stay on it for probably another half an hour, get some more questions. I'm going to read a little bit more, but I've kind of covered the main gist of today, which is to share with people the daily routine, which will help anxiety sufferers to get control over it. And if they stick to it, I believe you can overcome it fully. I've done it at stages of my life. It's come back, or at the very least, you can live your dream life and reduce your anxiety. And I think that's the best option out there to date. Right. So just give me a few minutes. I'll make another tea. I will also be covering diet. I do a lot of I'm doing a lot of that in my 1 year confidence paid program and on the other paid programs and on the free platforms because diet is so important. It's changed my life and it certainly helps you to reduce anxiety. Everything it ticks every box. It changes your energy, your life. I think deep down people know that, but diet's probably the hardest discipline known to man and woman. But it's something that you really want to think about changing because it's hard. It's hard to live any quality good life if your diet is appalling, like mine used to be. But of course, with these sorts of things, you, or anyone, you can never force people to do it. So I'm only speaking to people that want to change. They want my opinion. They want my teachings. They want to improve, and I'm going to help you. Anybody that says I don't want it, I'm not interested, I will say no problem at all. I respect that. Do what you're doing, and I'm going to continue what I'm doing. Well, so it takes a lot out of me doing these live streams. I don't know what it is. I'm not. That's why I said I'm not a big fan of it. I appreciate all of you. Um, I think it's the electronic format. I prefer in-person talks. I will be doing some big events that I'm preparing and planning in the future, which I much prefer. But I'm grateful that this is it's better than nothing. Right. Okay. Well, coming to the end now. I've almost done an hour. So yeah, it's something to really think about with how you're living each and every day because a lot of anxiety suffers, and I know from where I used to be and how it held me back and many clients that I've helped to come unstuck from this place. You're just wasting so many days of your life being in anxiety and overthinking and being stuck. Where each and every day you could be living such a good life, you could be doing so much more. You don't have to be perfect. No one's perfect. We've all got challenges and we've all go through struggles and we've all got insecurities. But there's no excuse really. If you're really determined to move forward, you can still find an hour in each day to be grateful for what you've got. Also to work out, or if you find that it's difficult getting out of the house, I understand. Well, you can clean your apartment. Wherever you are at now, you can improve your life with what you have and where you're living. Everyone can do that, even though a lot of people are in the mindset that they can't. It's not true. It's an excuse. It's negative thinking. You can clean your environment. You can say a prayer. You can you can write your goals down. You can watch positive things online. You know, worst case scenario, you can read a book and then you can build on that. Then leave the house, go for a walk in the park. It's really about living each day in gratitude. And that's really what wipes out a lot of the anxiety. A lot of the anxiety, I'm not blaming people because I've struggled with it as well. It's challenging. But a lot of the anxiety is a lack of gratitude. And I don't think people do it on purpose because deep down, I think people are good and they're grateful. But because they're in pain and they're stuck and they're not conscious and they're in their own darkness, they can't always feel grateful. They can't get to that point. But they can, but they tell themselves that and they don't realize it, which is why you need people who have more gratitude or found more to help you if you want the help. So you can get to that point and get in a better place. So, these are things that I learned through hard times and through good times and, things crashing down. And I practice them every day. I think everyone needs gratitude, doesn't matter what you got. Without gratitude and humility, you're going to suffer. It don't matter. I don't care if you've got £100 billion. If you're not grateful, at some point the money will be worthless to you. You'll still be in that prison. You'll still be stuck. So it's not about how much money you've got or how many followers you've got, or if you've got a six-pack or cars or mansions. Those things will not last forever, but gratitude will. And gratitude doesn't cost any money, and it doesn't cost any followers, but it takes awareness, self-awareness, and it's a choice, and it's looking within yourself for what you're grateful for. And you might have to say to yourself, look, at the moment, I'm not grateful for anything in my life because I'm in so much pain, but I want to be grateful. That's gratitude. That's a start. At least to say, look, at the moment, I'm in agony, I'm in pain, I'm suffering, which is unfortunate. But just saying, I would like to be grateful. I'd like to be grateful, like Jonathan's saying, or many other people. I want to get to that point. Say a prayer. I believe in God. I'm not pushing my faith on anyone, but I'm trying to give you some direction. Or, ask someone that you know in your life that has more gratitude, that's naturally more of a grateful person. I'm telling you, man, gratitude can take you from rock bottom to living a great life. Gratitude can help you to overcome financial difficulty and get you financially free. Gratitude can get you off an addiction. Gratitude could help you to overcome a painful breakup in a relationship, get you to find yourself again and rebuild relationships. Gratitude has saved and changed my life. So important, not just for people who have an anxiety disorder or a challenge, but for better living in general. So it would be a good thing to end on. And the daily routine, that whole routine that I do every day and teach people who want to be taught, and I learn and I get inspired by others that are doing that. I'm not the only one. It naturally makes you find gratitude in each and every situation in every day, regardless of the challenges that we all face and deal with. Doesn't matter what we've got or what we ain't got. We're still human. We've got a mind. Life is challenging for us all at different times. Yeah, acceptance is important. Gratitude will help with acceptance. Very important. Yeah, we said that earlier on, right? The two kind of go hand in hand, because a lot of people, they lack gratitude because they can't accept that they've got anxiety or things that happened. So, and please believe me, I mean this kindly. I'm not saying this is easy. It's really challenging, this stuff. But listen, I can't find the right word next. You have no other choice unless you want to stay where you are. You have no other choice. And if someone would have said these things to me that I'm saying to a lot of you, I wouldn't have liked it. A lot of you probably don't like me right now. That's fine. And you don't like what I'm saying, or your mind don't. But nonetheless, I'm going to say it because it's kind, it's honest, and it's what helped me. But as I got older, and learned a bit more about life and learned about how much I didn't know, I appreciate it now. So when I'm watching a podcast show, as soon as they say the word gratitude, I resonate with it straight away. I'm like, I want to learn more about that, because it's not like, oh, once you're grateful, once you have gratitude, you know it all now. No, you've got to keep learning it and developing it. We all need to find that. I practice it through the stream. I said to you guys, I'm not a big fan of the live stream format. I prefer in person, with you in person helping you, or but I am grateful that we have this. It's better than nothing. So I'll give you an example now. This chair I'm sitting on, it's not the best chair in the world. It's squeaky. It's a bit annoying. It's not that comfortable either. And I can do it. I need to get a better sofa, better chair. But I'm grateful that I've got a chair to sit on. I could be on no chair. I remember days where I didn't have a chair in my room. There wasn't a chair. There was just a bed, little room, and I was depressed and I was suicidal. It's a long time ago. So from those days, I'm grateful to be in a nice flat with a nice bed, chair, food, etc. See, you can practice it in everything. Sorry, I'm just. Yeah, I will do more videos, and it is a longer explanation, but we've covered enough for now. Those of you that will come on the stream later on, you will watch this as a video. I know you'll really appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate all the support. It's brilliant. It's great. If you could listen, I'm not even going to say it. If you guys want to share and like, you will keep sharing the message. My vision is to build on this. It's not for me. I don't look at it as views and followers and subscribers. I don't care about that in that way. I look at it as sharing my story to more people, whether it's on a podcast, in person, through friends, everywhere. I don't see it as on social media. I'm in the real. I want to be in the real world. So does that make sense? See, I'll give you another example. Now, I'll be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed today that we didn't get as many people turn out on the stream, because the last stream I done, we had a lot of people, and I was excited about today, and I put a lot of effort in to make this stream, and I was expecting like 20, 30, maybe more. But I'm grateful that there are 3 or 5 people on today, 6. If I could help one person, great. Even if there was no one on, no one, and I was just speaking out loud, I'd still be grateful. Grateful for the day, what I've got, what I'm helping. So much in my life that I'm grateful for. So this is genuine. It's not fake. It's not intellectual. This is from the heart. But it's taken time, like all good things, to actually be grateful and to find gratitude, and in anything and everything. So there's another way of doing it. It's endless, really. But I'm not saying to people, you know, just be grateful that you're in a bad place. I'm not really saying that. I want people to be in a good place, and I do my best to help you to get there. But I am saying, if you are in a bad place, you've still got gratitude. You can be grateful for being alive, for your family, just to be able to access the internet, to eat an orange, to make tea, to eat, to have shelter. If you can do that, man, when you're in a tough time, and life's tough on you, and you're not getting all the things you want, you're going to go to another level. You're going to do all right in life. But if you can't, unfortunately, you're going to struggle a lot longer than you need to. I don't want anyone to struggle, but this is the reality of life. What I've learned, things are not going to get any better for you. You're going to make them worse by the anger, the resentment, the lack of gratitude, the lack of awareness, the staying stuck, staying prideful, proud, etc. All those things. Of course, I'm telling you from all the things that I've done. I made many mistakes in my life. Many times I weren't grateful. I paid the price for it. So if I can help people from my mistakes, so hopefully you don't have to make them and suffer to the degree that I did, then that will make me that'll make me more grateful. I'll be pleased to be able to do that for people. I'm going to be doing many more streams. I'm really focused on this project at the moment, and visions, and I have been reaching out actually to one person. I'm going to do it for more. I've been writing to podcasters that I like. I like their message, and asking them if they'd invite me on their show so I can share my story and help more men and women who have an anxiety disorder to live their dreams, or to at least think differently about their situation in life. Share my story and help people, and also make people feel valued and good, that they're not on their own, that they're not the only one that's struggling, that there are many out there, and there's something that they can do about it. Right, we're going to finish up now. It feels like the right time. It's 9 o'clock. I've done over an hour, and I completed what I wanted to do today with the daily routine. So I appreciate all of you coming on. Also, appreciate those of you that will watch this later on, or whatever stage, as a YouTube video. And I will be making more videos, and the journey continues. So I hope you've got a lot out of this. And of all the things that I've said, if you can take one thing from it, I'd say practice gratitude. which you can do right now. Even if it doesn't feel natural to begin with, it will come naturally. And then get some courage and practice this routine. It will change your life. It's changed mine, my clients, and many successful people, whether they're consciously doing it or unconsciously, they have a routine every day. They have a regimen, and that's what keeps them good mentally and physically and emotionally, and that's why they're successful. All right. Thank you for coming on. I'll speak to all of you soon. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.